Hello friends, and today I'd like to talk about giving praise and appreciation. How important it is to us personally, how important it is to our relationships, be those romantic, friendship or professional, and just how it's going to make the quality of you and your life and the lives of those around you better. So there's a real skill to both giving praise and receiving praise. So let's talk about giving praise first and why it's so important and how we can skillfully do it so it's best received by the person that we're giving it to. So one of the first things we want to do with giving praise is it has to be sincere, it has to be authentic. You know, one of the things that anybody that's worked with me will tell you, the phrase I most hate is good job. It's not specific. It doesn't tell you what the person's doing a good job about. It's so general. It's usually shouted from a crowd. You don't know even, when it's team sport, who is it to? It really doesn't land very well. It's just that platitude that just kind of goes over a head. It doesn't mean anything to us personally. So when you're giving appreciation, when you're giving praise, when you're giving positive feedback, make it personal. Make it, be very specific about who it's to. If you're a coach and you're talking to the team, make it clear who you're talking to. If you're giving, appreciation as a partner and you're giving it to your relationship partner or your friend or a work colleague, again, be really clear. Who is this praise for? So Bob, I really want to appreciate you for. And then be really clear about what you're appreciating them for. Pick what you want to appreciate them for. Be sincere. It has to be unarguable. What you're appreciating them for has to mean something to you and them. And the more personal it is to them, the more it means to them, the more effective it's going to be and the more it's going to land for them. Be really, really concise. Don't waffle on about that praise. Don't include yourself in that praise. Don't say, hey Bob, I really like that you do this because I do that too and it's great and aren't we great? And just talk about them. Say, I really like that you do this. Don't bring yourself into it. I know that feels really bonding at times, but it lessens the impact of what you're saying and it lessens the impact of the praise. From personal example, my dad would talk about me to other people. So he would say, hey, my son's so great. It didn't land on me at all. I realized that he's just using me to reflect his own greatness. So be really, really clear as to who you're giving it to and give it directly to them. Don't talk about them in front of other people. Talk to them. And if you find yourself doing that, if you find yourself praising somebody to somebody else, just go back to the person that you feel that way about and praise them. Use that as an opportunity to say to yourself, hey, I really want to say something to this person and say it to them. Now, when we're receiving praise, sometimes it can be difficult. I'll hold my hand up. I can struggle to receive praise and appreciation. I've often done things and said, oh, well, it's not as good as so-and-so. And, no, thank you, but maybe I could have done this better. So here's my encouragement and my challenge to you. Whenever somebody gives you praise, positive feedback, appreciation, you have two responses to that. The first one is you say thank you and you leave it at that. You don't get into a discussion with them about it. You don't get into an argument about it. You don't downgrade yourself. You don't elevate them and immediately think you have to praise them back. You say thank you. And then you just let it sit, you absorb it, and you believe it. This person is giving you that positive feedback for a reason, and it's okay for you to believe it. It's okay for you to accept it. And this is why when we're given appreciation, it's so important that appreciation is very specific, it's personable, it's unarguable, and it's about something that means something to the person, because then they know it's genuine, they know it's authentic, and it's really going to land for them. When we're giving feedback, be it as teachers, parents, coaches, leaders in business, it's important that a lot of that feedback that we give is positive. I know I'm very goal orientated, I'm a real performance leader myself. I'm like, hey, how can we get better? How are we going to get here? Like, here's our target up here. Let's stretch ourselves. I know it can be a failure of mine personally to struggle to also see what we're doing really well and to recognize that. Yet studies show us that people really struggle to hear just constant critical feedback. It's really going to affect their mental state. It's really going to get them emotionally down. And their first response when they see you is, oh no, what's this guy going to say to me now? Immediate defense. So this is why it's so important that we spend as much, if not more time, recognizing people's successes, recognizing the things that they do well as the things that we want to critique and as well as the things we want to challenge them on. It's just hard. We've all been there. We've all had somebody criticize us and we immediately got defensive. And that's often because we haven't built up this trust with that person where we think, they have my best interests at heart. I've heard them say, they have said to me, lots of things that are meaningful, that show they care, that show that it's really important. And that's why studies again show us that, if you're going to give critique, you've got to give positive with it or it's just not going to be heard. And then you just turn into that constant critical voice and then there's this animosity between you and the other person and you're really not going to be an effective leader. You're not going to be an effective coach. So, work on this on all aspects in your relationships. Something I love about my wife is she'll come home, she'll immediately notice something I've done. She'll say, oh, thanks for doing the laundry, or thanks for doing the dishwasher, love. I really appreciate you. And it's such a gift to me to, one, experience that, and then to also see her role modeling, because it teaches me that that's important. And as somebody myself who's kind of either naturally or trained myself to believe that I don't need much appreciation, it's very powerful for me to watch somebody that's very good at doing that and to realize the effect that it has on others. And even me, when I think I don't need it, it does have an effect on me. So, what I'd like to take from today's talk is, my offering to you is to look for areas to appreciate everybody around you, anyone. It can be a stranger, it can be somebody you're really close to. And don't do what we often do, which is fear that if we appreciate things, somehow we're giving something away. Like if I really appreciate you, I'm giving something away. I'm giving my power as a leader, as a teacher, as a parent away, because I'm being too nice. There's no such thing. Like what you can all do with more appreciation, more praise. And also notice how you feel about it. I know when I give good appreciation, it makes me feel bloody great. I feel really good about myself as well. So the person getting the praise feels good. You feel good as the person doing the praising, and we're just lifting each other up. And then it also allows us to challenge each other in more meaningful ways because we're more open to it now. We're more open to being challenged in that way because we know that the person who is challenging us really cares for us as well, because they're just as invested in seeing what we do well, seeing what they're thankful for that we represent in the world, as they are, hey, here's all the list of things that I'd like you to do better, and here's all the ways that you can improve. So have fun with it, guys. Go play with it. See what it feels like to give somebody some really good, honest, genuine feedback. See what it feels like to really focus on looking for ways that you can give people honest, genuine appreciation. And then to see how that lands on you and how you feel doing it. And again, if you're in a position of leadership, if you're a leader, parent, teacher, business leader, coach, see how the effect has on your relationship with that person, and then see how they respond when you bring something to their attention that you feel that they need to work on. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoy what we do, please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you love our podcasts, we really appreciate if you could rate them and share them with your friends and comment. I love reading the comments. So please email us, comment on our posts, get engaged with us. Challenge us. Tell us how you want us to do things better. Tell us what you really appreciate about the work we do. Thanks, friends. Chat soon.